Talk to me about Sacramento City Schools. They were having a challenge before the pandemic even hit. How would you say things are going now?
Well, this has been a years-long process. We've had them under what they call a negative certification from the state level because they've engaged in persistent, what we call deficit spending, meaning spending more than you've been taking in. So you're constantly falling behind. And now they're at risk of running out of cash. And that's the standard set by the state for when you go insolvent and you have to seek a state loan. And then you get an administrator appointed by me with the concurrence of the president of the State Board of Education and the state superintendent.
So
So
help us.
that's the challenge the district is facing, but it is not a new challenge by any means.
Help us understand just how serious is this?
Well, this has been serious for many years. The district, I have written 20 or 25 letters to the district over the years saying, stop the deficit spending, get your budget in order. They've had tremendous turnover of leadership. They've had 6 superintendents in the last 8 or 9 years. Superintendent Aguilar has been there now for over 3 years, which is a near record. And the district simply it's got to have two things to climb out of all of this. It's got to have consistent leadership from the top, consistent leadership which sticks around, and it has to have cooperation and collaboration between the district leadership and the labor partners, the various district unions. They have collaboration with some of them, but not all of them, as you have seen.
Well, and tell me this. We keep hearing these time frames, but what's the time frame now? We're hearing that by maybe even the first of the year, that unless things change dramatically, that we may be looking at a state takeover.
Well, with the running out of cash being the standard, the amount of cash you have on hand will always vary. Right now, the projection is February. It could be April. It could be May, depending on whether the state exercises these deferrals that they're promising to put on as a money-saving device for this year because of the shortfalls related to the COVID situation. But again, the point of it is whether or not it's February, whether or not it's May, based on past practice, they've got to get out of the deficit spending. They've got to stabilize their budget, but most of all, they've got to get cooperation between the district leadership and the labor partners so that the district can move forward in a positive way. They've got so many needy youngsters in the district that the youngsters are entitled to that. And right now, they haven't even been able to agree yet on the platforms and the procedures for the distance learning, which has to start when they open next Tuesday. Every other district in the county has long since agreed on that, and they're all open now, and they're all at work on it.
So how would you? It's almost like you always have that one, right? You know what I mean? That one just kind of trouble child, if you will. How would you characterize the Sac City Unified?
Well, again, they need consistent long-term leadership, stable leadership in the district office and with the board. You can't change the superintendent every 2 or 3 years and expect to have a stable, well-run organization. No organization will run well in that way. That's number one. Number two, the budget has to be stabilized. No more deficit spending.
And put that in
Plan for
layman's
your
terms.
expenditures
Can you just put that in
into
layman terms? No more spending more money than you take in.
right. What deficit spending means, put in simple terms, is you spend what you take in. and you don't worry about the future. And even if you're spending money that you know is one-time money on things that will be reoccurring costs, you do it anyway, and you hope for the best. And that's not a way to run an organization. It's not a way to run a budget.
Okay, we just
So,
wanted to.
so the other thing I would say, and I've said this over and over in letters, I've said it over and over at the board meetings. Well-run districts, high-functioning districts, have strong collaboration between their labor partners and the school district. The labor partners are the key element in running the district effectively. That's your workforce. You have to have a good relationship with them. You have to work together for the betterment of the organization, or you will not have a strong organization.
Well, and so then you're saying that then the teachers and the labor parties have some blame here as well.
Well, it takes everybody to form a partnership. But again, I can only tell you, looking back in history, the superintendents have come and the superintendents have gone. 6 superintendents in the last 8 or 9 years, uh, is you've got to stabilize the system and have collaboration. That's what the other districts do in the county.
Well, anything else that you would have us keep in mind, sir? If not, we.
No, other than my sense of urgency that this has to get solved by the parties. The negotiations are not even completed, as I said, to run the distance learning, which has to start next week. That's not fair to the children. It's not fair to the families. The cooperation has to occur for the benefit of those families, those children, many of them among the neediest families and children that we have in the whole county.